Hello, welcome to Global Vegfest. I'm Katrina Fox, the founder of Vivas, a global community and membership program for vegan women. You can find out more at thevivasnetwork.com. I'm delighted that we've had the opportunity to showcase vegan women's voices on this Global Vegfest organised by Vegfest UK. We've already had a couple of amazing panels, one on women making waves in sustainable fashion and another one on women growing veganism across the globe. So I highly recommend you check out those recordings. They're available here on the Vegfest UK Facebook page and YouTube channel, and you can enjoy those and catch up on those. We're wrapping up the Vivas live streams with a fabulous talk by Manuela Senatore, and this is such a good topic. It's all about how to use video to create online communities and how to use video as a tool for activists. Now, I know in marketing circles, everyone's saying video is really important, video is super important, everybody is into it. So I think it's going to be great to get some tips on how we can do that. So I'm very excited to introduce you to Manuela Senatore. Over to you.
Hi. Hello. It's so great to be part of this great event and to provide the vegan community with tools to make their voice heard and having more power to be making a difference. I am a video producer and video strategist for a company called Skill Up Productions, and I am really excited now to share a presentation so you can see how you can use video for your community and also as an activist. Of course, the title of the presentation, How Video Can Promote Social Change. Of course, it can be a tool for activists, but also a tool for community leaders. And if we consider what Global Fest is about, you can already tell that video can build communities, because at the end of the day, that's how we have seen Katrina. She's showing and talking as a talking head. And it's not just that we are joining and reading content. Everybody is sharing large amount of information without us to make an effort. So it's a great way to share ideas and to share actions. Everybody knows that video is powerful. However, if you combine video and community, then you really have even more energy to your message. And so community and video is the answer to make a difference in the world. We all have seen, especially in recent months, how video generates outrage, and really the debate that creates can make a difference. We all know video can influence change. We probably all have a friend that has become vegan after seeing really dramatic video about wet markets or animal farming. Myself, I have become vegan because of videos that I have seen. And then conversely, we have seen social protests and rallies because of videos of police brutality against people that were just the subject of violence. But we have to talk about video within an online community. So a good way to start is to define what is an online community. And in reality, an online community is just a group of people that are interacting over the internet with each other. So in a way, this fest is a global community. So before we understand how we can implement video, we have to understand that online communities are of different sizes. So they could be a group of like 10 people that, let's say, a group of vegan foodies that are rating vegan restaurants in a Facebook group, or it can be 1 billion Instagram users that are conversing of different topic. So at first, if you decide to use the social network and to use video to promote change, you have to ask yourself, how big do I want my community to be? Of course, if you are thinking of making a group of 10 to 20 people, then maybe the best way to start that is using a platform like WhatsApp or Telegram. Instagram direct messaging, there's Slack, there are many platforms, and they're all optimized for video. Of course, in the future, and maybe not too far ahead, we will see these exchanges in the metaverse, but still not something very common yet. So we will talk about that in the future. But if you want to reach more than 100,000 people, for example, you might use different platforms like Reddit, or again, like we talk about, Instagram, even Facebook. Facebook is very flexible because it allows for small to larger groups. All right, the difference between small and large communities is basically the amount of engagement. If you are creating a small group, like a membership group, then it is easier to get things done because the conversations are much more intense. There is much more recognition about the members. And because of that, action gets facilitated. So if you want to really create a group where things are getting done, maybe a smaller group is the way to go. However, if you have a large personality or you're already very well known, then you can think about creating just a very active Instagram page and basically share your message with your followers. That's also a community. In these presentations, I decided to give two examples that are at two extreme of the spectrum. One example is the Facebook group. And again, this is Facebook. I chose it just because it's a platform that I know very well. However, the dynamic of a group on Facebook, you can make them happen on a different platform. And then we will look at the influencer activist that uses Instagram. So let's look at a Facebook group and how you can use video within a Facebook group. Of course, the way to start is you have to be clear on what is the mission of this group, what are the solutions that you're offering, what are the action items, and also who are the ideal members of this group. These are 4 elements you need to have clear from the get-go. So the main goal is to develop a community that matches your member avatar, who is the ideal member that shares your call to action, members to this ecosystem. A breakdown of the steps that are needed for successful creation of the group are defining the purpose and goal of the group, pick the community platform. In this case, we already know it's going to be the Facebook group. Then you create a member profile. Typically, that happens with having the 2 or 3 questions that candidates to the group have to answer before they join the Facebook group. You establish the rules and the norms, and then you get started. Once the community is already happening, then you will notice that there are some members that are more active, and those are the members that will become your allies, so to say, and they will become the key players in the community that will help you also to create content in the long run. Of course, it's very important to promote your community using certain strategic hashtags that will allow for your group to stand up. Especially if it's a public group, it's not private and behind the walls of privacy, so nobody could find it other than the members. This is an example of a Facebook group. I just made it up. It doesn't exist. But let's say you make a group called the Vegan Filmmaker, and all the members basically want to learn how to build a sustainable video business just working with vegan brands. Of course, a filmmaker can be considered a marketer and offer marketing services for brands. But if you want to just work with vegan brands, how do you make it happen? How do you make it sustainable? And this is a group where somebody that is already an expert that is doing it successfully shares advice on how to make it happen for other people that are interested to do the same thing. So what are the videos that you will use in this group? Of course, the way to start is to really have 3 to 5 introduction videos that explain what is your mission. It could be like a short series that everybody that joins the group needs to see. So you tell the new members what to expect. One of the videos can explain the group's mission, the problem that the group solves, and also the solutions that it will offer. Second video that is very powerful to really increase the power of this group is the introduction video. You can ask any new member that joins the group to introduce themselves, to explain why they joined the group and what are expecting from the group. And then live videos are very powerful. You can schedule weekly or even more frequent videos to just update your community about what is happening, what is going to be new. There are action items or new products or whatever is that keeps the community current. Now, live videos are favored by the algorithm of most social media, and also people love watching things unfold. Of course, like we are in this Vegfest and we're participating live, but you can also use the video as a replay, and so that content still is valuable after it's been delivered. But when you're live and you see that some people are joining the conversation, it's nice you call out participants. It creates engagement, and people love to hear their name called up. So that's great strategy as well. And then other videos that will really allow to grow your community tenfold very quickly are video comments. When somebody is posting an issue about something that they're stuck with, or they're sharing some successes, maybe they make a post. So one great way to really have this post stand out is to make a video comment to them. And as the creator of the community, you can lead by example and start making these comments. What it is great is that these comments are very personable, because there is an immediate reflection on the post, and also you can really go much deeper in your commentary, because you're not like really stuck with having to write all the words, and sometimes that makes it like a little bit more hard work. So video comments are great. And then video interviews, you can really highlight some very active members of the group, and you can celebrate their accomplishments, and that will make people have really they will have a vested interest in the group, because they are celebrated by the group, and they will be testimonials for your group, and really you will be able to offload work and content in the future, because they will be creating content for you, since they've been already brought up to everybody's attention. So video interviews to highlight the most active members of the group is very, very good strategy. And then the very advanced way to use video within a group is like to sell video as educational offer, for example. Once you create a lot of valuable content, then people will be even willing to pay for the curated version of that content, because at that point you have two years of experience, and then so much valuable content. Then once you package it in a very again curated way, you will even be able to sell it within the group and outside the group. So that is basically the lay of the land for a member-based group. And the two laws are that you're going to work hard early, because you have to create most of the content upfront. You will have to be very consistent in going live and interviewing your members. And in that sense, if you have another partner within the group, it is the best way and the most effective way to be consistent. So it's hard to do it really by yourself. With another person, it's ideal. But you will reap the benefits later, because once you create this support system, members that are particularly engaged are going to create video as well. So you will be able to just offload a lot of work to the community. And that's what it's key. The other side of the spectrum, this is video for activists. Activist is somebody that it's causing change. They want to really create a message that stands out to the most people, really. And the example that we're using is the one of the Instagram influencer. Key elements are to find your voice, to be really clear on what you stand for, and to be consistent and show no fear, in the sense that whatever message and video you share, you should be standing behind it with all yourself, because of course it's much more personal. It's all about you as an influencer. So it's very important that you stand your ground. And the main concept, of course, activists want to inspire change, and they use social media to influence people's beliefs and create and also get material and moral support. Sometimes these videos also important to get funds for a cause. Of course, whatever is your goal as an activist, video helps you achieve it more quickly and even more effectively. There's step-by-step setups for an Instagram profile as well. Of course, you decide what your purpose is. You check out the platform and find your favorite influencers. It's always very advisable to get familiar with a platform as a user, because once you see what really stands out for you, then it's much easier to understand how you can stand out for others. Again, make your profile stand out, make it like funny, make it interesting, be clear on your beliefs, and then you can find your go-to video content. With the activism, the type of content can be very diverse, so it's very important that you understand what you prefer doing, and we will see some examples. Of course, look for allies and support them. It's very important when you're creating an influencer's profile that you engage with people, so that you allow to you help their post to stand out, but then they will help your post to stand out as well. That's how you create an ecosystem. And then, of course, promote your content. In the case of Instagram, using Reels and Stories is very effective because they really are favored by the algorithm. And so let's look at like 6 types of videos that I've noticed have the most traction for influencers. And at the end, I also have added the handles of these profiles that to me represent these types of videos, so you can go and look at their pages. I haven't asked for their permissions to be shown, so they're all public pages, so you can just look at and see how they actually create these videos. So we can begin by the gut-wrenching video, and now what I've spoken before, it's for pretty much every type of activism. These videos in particular are for mostly vegan influencers. So the gut-wrenching video is the very heartbreaking content that you see when people do undercover investigations or slaughterhouse vigils. And of course, they're very hard to watch for viewers. And when viewers share that content, they really make a statement that they're going to really ruffle some feathers, of course, of people that are not vegans, and they're like really sometimes offended. But those are the ones that really have the most power to affect change. And so you have to be really, again, fearless to share this type of content, to create it, and then even as a viewer to share it. But that's when you choose to go full attack for the cause. That's the kind of content that you create. There's this influencer Joy Strong. Maybe some of you know him, but he's very powerful with his videos, and this is his style. Then educational video. I think everybody knows this influencer head Earthling. Basically, he uses logic and uses debate to talk either directly to the audience or to one-to-one, and those are like recorded interviews, and they are mostly packaged as a series. And this is for vegans very good content to share. That's why it gets a lot of traction. Also, it offers a lot of arguments when vegans are confronting non-vegans in real life. So that's very helpful, very powerful. Then there is the humanizing video. In reality, animals that are exploited for food and other profit goals, they're not considered as sentient beings. They're just eaten behind a label that says pork or beef. You don't see the animal behind it. So I've seen more and more these new profiles that really highlight the personhood of the animal, and they show how, like a simple animal like a duck or a pig, they just go about their daily lives and they really have personality. So that's a great positive strategy. It's a strategy of positivity that creates empathy for the animal, especially for young viewers. And there are a couple of profiles that I follow. One is a little bit bigger. It's called Seductive, the story of the daily adventures of a duck. And then this Fire Pig Penny, which is a mascot for a Brooklyn firehouse that, has just adopted this very baby pig, and now it's growing and it goes about its daily life in a funny manner. Then short form capsules are great. It's basically you choose a very simple concept. For example, like you can say, so how many turkeys are slaughtered for like Thanksgiving, and you make a very effective short video about that, maybe a 30-second video. And what you need is a strong camera presence, a clear point. You want to just highlight one message. And what it is great about these videos, they're very easy to make every day, or like more often than not, because you can choose so many angles. You can talk about different topics for each holiday, and also they're very easy to share because they're very short, and so other followers can share them on their stories, and after seeing them for 3 or 4 seconds you already understand the topic. So, and they're easy without necessarily having to be on the ground and doing a lot of action. You can put out a lot of content that makes a difference. Hijacking current events, it's also a very powerful strategy. I have actually a filmmaker friend that it's highlighted here. His name, the company is Cave Lights Films. And his films, his short films, they have had millions of viewers. It's basically, it requires the chops of an investigative journalist and documentary filmmaker, or access to somebody that has those skills. But it's the kind of content that basically takes advantage of events like COVID, and then based on these events that everybody is interested into, then you find the vegan angle of that. And specifically, he has many films now, but one that was really became viral was the one about wet markets in New York. New York has a lot of wet markets still, and of course the general public doesn't care about them because of the animals, but because they easily transmit infections, and that was the angle to also show the animal side of it. And of course there is video for fundraising. There are some a lot of shelters that protect animals, but some are better funded than others. And I in particular follow this shelter in Ukraine. The founder is a woman that really puts all of her life out for this animal. And what they do, they show these animals that have either been sold by animals by owners that cannot afford them any longer, like horses especially, and so they're like destined to go to slaughter. And the way to make the viewer sympathize is to show their plight and predicament, and involve the viewers into saving them and contributing to save them. And this is also a very tough video to make because it requires you to be on the ground and actually really be there to try to save these animals. But it's a great page. And how do you boost engagement? Of course, boosting engagement really depends on how good the content is, because if people always want to have content on their Instagram page, and if your content is very valuable, then viewers will want to share it on their own stories. But you can also ask your followers to tag you in their stories, or even just explain how they use the advice that you share, and share their successes and whatnot. Also, live videos are a great strategy on Instagram as well to create engagement. Of course, lives are always favored by the algorithm of most social media. But what it's great is that you can interact with followers in real time, because you'll see them pop up in your live. Followers get a notification unless they have notification turned off. And then that content can be used on the long term, because once you go live on Instagram, then you can save that video and can be in your profile forever. And so what are the elements for success, both as a community leader and as an influencer activist? Those are key elements. You can have more or less of these features, but they're for both sides of the spectrum. You always need consistency because social media reward consistency. You have to be ready to have this constant output of content, of video content, and so you have to really make sure you can do it yourself, or maybe have a production line set up for that. And you need video skills because obviously in this day and age, there is a lot of quality content out there, and you want to make compelling videos. Even when I see these influencers that I follow, I see them constantly raising the bar with the quality of what they produce. And it's just a way to make sure that you have eyeballs on the content. If your videos are boring or repetitive, unfortunately, they're not going to allow for your page to stand out, especially in the context of Instagram. And then be yourself, especially as an activist. You can decide how you want to change the world, and so you find your style and the video content that you most likely will use. Of course, all of these influencers, sometimes they use other types of video content, but for the most part, they stick with their particular style. So there is the opportunity to really play to your strengths once you decide if you want to use a more negative or more heartbreaking and gut-wrenching or a more positive message. And that's it. Good luck creating, and continue creating for justice.